What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kairos, and today I'm bringing you the definitive guide for Blood Deathknight in 11.2 for PvP. Blood is in a really interesting spot. We're doing a lot more damage. The stats are a lot higher. And they did buff all tanks for Battlegrounds. So that even makes us better for Arena. Blood is a very disruptive spec, even more disruptive than the DPS DKs like Frost and Unholy. So just to get straight into it, we're going to be running one rune, and that is the most important rune. That is Rune of Sanguination. It just increases the damage we do to targets with less health with our Death Strike. And it does, if we do get nuked, because we are a tank still, it does heal us for 58% of our health. And if you want to see it here in the book, so you can see the numbers. Here you go. There's 58% of your health over 8 seconds. It actually is quite a big heal, which is really good in PvP. And yes, it does have a long cooldown, but when you need it, you need it. Okay? So there's that. That's our thing. For tier, this is the way I see it. Here's the way it goes. Okay? And I'll explain it very simply. We're going to run the headpiece. We're going to run the chest. We're going to run the gloves. We're going to run the pants. The reason we're avoiding the shoulders is because it has too much haste. We don't need all the haste in the world. We want mastery and crit, mastery and crit, mastery and haste, and that gives us some verse, and it has haste. We still want a minimum of 10% haste. I would say 15. You can even push up to 20. That's just me personally. We already get 19% haste from our trees, from the normal DK tree and the Sand Lane. We're running Sand Lane all the way. There's no Deathmaker or Deathbringer. It's garbage. It's not good. I don't like it. We get strength from other things with Sand Lane. We get damage modifiers, mastery modifiers, strength modifiers, which are all very good. And we get a pet that explodes and actually deals quite a bit of damage. Actually upwards of what Unholy's doing with pet damage. Maybe not all the way, but definitely with our main pet. Anyway, so as far as the stats, the way I would see it is you get your 10% minimum, 15%, 20%, whatever you feel comfortable with, but you're already going to get 19% from everything else. So you're already going to have a really fast rotation, right? You're already going to have 19%, even if you had zero haste, right? You're already going to get a lot of haste from the DK tree. So your rotation's already going to be fast. You're already going to get a lot of runes back. You're not going to be held back by anything like that, right? Okay. So, but the stats are going to look like get your 25 to 30% versatility, which is kind of the thumb of rule. And then it's going to be mastery, and then it's going to be crit, and then it's going to be haste. And the main reason for crit, and I know a lot of people might say, well, why crit? Well, if you crit on a Death Strike and you have your Dancing Rune Weapons out, it's going to be a lot of damage, especially if that main one crits. On your actual weapon. It can actually crit upwards of 4 million plus. Actually. It's actually quite ridiculous. So there is that. So we explain the stats. We explain the runes. We're only going to be running the one. Hero talents. We're Sand Lane all the way. And there is something I want to talk about, and it's these two talents right here. Bloody Fortitude, I know a lot of people like this. It is good, but the thing I like is this talent right here, because it has two effects. Your leech is increased by 6, or by 2 rather. While lichborne is active, the leech bonus of this effect is increased by 100%. Now you already get leech from using lichborne, which increases leech by 6, reduces damage taken by 15%, makes you immune to fears, charms, and sleeps, right? So that's really good. So that's 6, that's 12, that's 18, that's 2, that's 22, and now for Blood Scent, that's 25, and with enchants, it should be upwards all the way up, I think about 27, 28% leech, which is quite a bit. And that's healing. Any healing you're doing, any damage you're doing, it's going to be healing you. So that's one way of being consistent. And it actually helps because we've lost A-Bomb's limb with another talent. And we got something called Price of Progress. You sacrifice 1% of your health every 1 second. In exchange, you cannot be slow below 90% of normal speed, and you are immune to force movement effects and knockbacks. So that's something that helps, and we are already very annoying. We have 2 grips. They're on a 15-second cooldown. You are a very nasty person if you play Blood. But I play it, so here we are. I'm joking. But, okay. So, to basically explain the rotation, there's a few ways to look at this. And this is how I do it, and I find that I do a lot of damage consistently. And here's how I like to do it. So I'm going to pop my Dancing Rune Weapons. I'm going to get my disease on the target. I'm just going to sit here and spam Vampiric Strike, and essentially here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get my 7 stacks. I can get my 7 stacks of the Blood Queen. So I get the Haste, Mastery, and the full modifier on my Death Strike. Now here's what's going to happen. As you get hit in PvP, you're also going to spend those. But here's how that's going to happen. You have full runic power, and then you're just going to weave it, and you're going to use Vampiric Strike, and this is what you're going to do. Because now you're able to maintain a bone shield, and you're going to have more health, so everything's going to scale higher. But that's pretty much it. And you're going to have all that leech, and you're going to have... Oh, my mouse is up there, but you're going to get strength from your Death and Decay off of your tree here. Whoops. We're going to go right here. Visceral Strength. So that's really good. So here's the thing. When you use that Vampiric Blood, and you're going to run Red Thirst here, so every 10 runic power, so pretty much every Death Strike that you use, which is 35, it's going to knock 6 seconds off. So when you're actually doing it, you're able to knock about, I would say consistently in that period, you should be able to get about 5 Death Strikes out, 4 or 5 Death Strikes out. Maybe 3 if you get CC'd, maybe even 2, who knows. But it works well with Bloodshot, because now your Blood Shield is active. You deal 25% increased physical damage. Death Strike is physical. And you get Heartrend, which also and it's a chance, it's not guaranteed, but it happens and it helps. I've gotten that and a crit. I've hit, I think the biggest Death Strike I've hit so far today was 5.1 million, 5.2 with my Dancing Rune Weapons. So you definitely have a lot of killing potential as Blood, which is actually it's pretty funny. But there's the rotation. As far as talents, I would say this can be a lock-in. But this, even if you have this active all the time, it's not that big of a deal. You're a tank. You're going to be healing a lot anyway. You already have a lot of passive healing as you go throughout the game. Last Dance is lock-in, so that kind of leaves one more, and you can kind of just go full damage and just go Decomposing Aura. You can go Dark Sim, you can go Strangulate, but I like Decomposing Aura. It's either Spell Warden or Decomposing Aura for me, because then I can give my healer, if he's getting trained by a mage or something like that, and they don't want to hit me, I can give him Spell Warden. He can be immune. I can immune a Hunter trap, because there are traps every 26 seconds or something. So if the hunter's not perfectly doing it before, I can just use my scroll macros here and just target him, press it, and then tab back on the hunter, and just be about as annoying as possible, to be honest. So you can avoid a lot of CC. You have a lot of team utility. That's really useful for your healer for 2s. For 2s, your best 2 healers are going to be Damage Discipline Priests. So where they have all the damage, maybe even the other one, if they can do a lot of damage consistently, that's not your S tier healer right now. That's more of your B and A. Still a pretty good consistent damage throughout the game, not a lot, but as the game goes on, it adds up over time, right? The best healer you can queue with 2s, 3s, solo shuffle, or queue with in BGs with is a Mistweaver. And the reason is they have something called Healing Sphere in their PvP tree, where it increases the damage on the target that you're hitting or the healing that you receive, and all healing that you receive. So now they can buff your healing or they can buff your damage. So consistently, you're going to be doing more damage throughout the entire game. Always. So that's the whole emphasis, guys. That's the whole thing. Be annoying, do as much damage as possible, get your Dancing Rune Weapon back as fast as possible, and spam those Death Strikes, Blood Boils, everything that modifies on top of those, and just do as much damage as you can. But there you go. There's the definitive guide for Blood for 11.2, and I hope you guys enjoy the season and get the rating you want. You guys have a good one. Goodbye.